Let's try out some new paint today. If you are new here, my name is Natalie and I am the owner and creator behind Sparks of Joy Studio. Welcome back to my channel. I love doing all kinds of thrift flips and DIYs, and today we are featuring Alchemy by Fusion. I have this metal planner that has been sitting in my stash for a while, and as you can see, I already used some clay molds on it. These are part of the Sparrow's Nest IOD mold that just recently came out. And after I had put this together, my initial plan was to paint it with Tapestry by Fusion. But I realized very quickly that it wasn't a color I really liked. I thought it was too dark for this project. So I ended up switching it over to white, and I still wasn't happy with it. But then when I got these new paint colors, I decided to try this one. This is the color Alabaster from the Alchemy line by Fusion, and it is a beautiful serene taupe. It's a much lighter, more spring summer-like color in my opinion compared to that tapestry. So I really liked it for this project. I also am using my Stelmeister brush, which is the brush that I typically use with my fusion paints, and it's working beautifully also with this chalk paint. This is a chalk style paint. It's limestone and chalk is how it's described. And I will tell you it goes on with very good coverage. And I really do love the way that it paints. It paints very smooth, and it's an ultra matte finish, which is another thing that a lot of people who like chalk paints really want to see. Because of all those other layers of paint underneath, I really only needed one coat of this paint. I let it dry thoroughly, and this paint does need to be sealed, so I grabbed some clear wax and covered the entire project with the clear wax, and then I followed up with some black wax to bring out all the details in this metal basket. You do not need to wait for the clear wax to dry before you use a darker wax on top of it, but one thing that I didn't do very well was wipe back some of that clear wax before I started using the black wax. So that is something that I would suggest that you do. I did end up having to go over with the black wax twice to make sure that it got the coverage I wanted. But it's very easy to tell just from using this black wax on top of this color, how it brings out those details and allows some more richness to that beautiful soft taupe. I covered the entire basket with this color and wiped back the excess. And then when that was done, I grabbed some floral foam, and I'm actually going to be styling this with the greenery inside. So it will be sold as a ready to go set, but I will not be gluing anything down. So anybody who purchases this can pull the pics out, use them for different projects, or, restyle it in a way that they prefer. I am focusing a little bit more on using some yellows with this planter. So I am in no way a floral ranger. I don't know how to do that very well, so I just did what I thought looked good. And after looking at this as it was, I decided it needed some more height, so I added in some longer stems of yellow flowers. For this next project, I have this wall pocket basket. It's like a half of a basket, and it has already been painted with a coat of paint. This is Birch, which is another Alchemy white paint. I really wanted to try out all of the neutral colors from this line. I know that there are a lot of bright and vibrant colors in the Alchemy line as compared to the Fusion all-in-one mineral paint, but I also wanted to see how the neutral colors looked and how those different whites compared to some of the all-in-one paints as well. So this birch color is beautiful, and we are going to try some paint inlays with this project. I'm going to be cutting out or I don't think I need all of them. I only need the two strips because I was able to use one strip of lemons on two of those little, what do you call it? Those two of those parts, two of those strips on the basket. And then I left the ones that were kind of inlaid without anything on them. So it's really just a couple of pops of yellow, and that's it on the inlay side. I misted my paint inlays and then grabbed my birch paint from the Alchemy line, and I'm going to be painting a layer of it. And while it is still wet, I am going to place my lemon inlays over the top of that. You can see there is that strip in the middle. I am going to go right over that bump as I lay my paint inlay down. It was a little bit more challenging to do the sides, so I did end up finding a little trick as I moved forward with this project, and I grabbed another paint or something else to kind of hold it vertical so that I could get those sides in a little bit better. One thing you might notice me doing here with these paint inlays is as after I place it down, and I place it down paint side down. So the grid that you see on those paint inlays is facing up at you. I am going back with a paper towel and just kind of pressing those inlays into that wet paint and into my project, and also kind of sucking up any other water or, anything that would be dripping off. That's just going to help it from any kind of smearing. I got a little nervous because I started to see some yellow coming through, and I thought that it was the actual paint was bleeding from the inlay, but it wasn't. I'm not exactly sure why it looked like that. When I end up pulling this back, you'll see it's fine. It was just a really nervous moment because, there's not very many of the lemons in this paint inlay set. I set the project aside for about 30 minutes or so, and now I'm going to come back and pull back the inlays. I'm going to start by misting the paint inlay or that transfer sheet that's on top, and then just using my rag that is already dampened to kind of dampen it a little more. Make sure that that transfer sheet can pull up without pulling away the paint. Once I have all four of those strips pulled back and revealed that gorgeous lemon design underneath, I do set it aside to dry for a bit so that I don't smudge the paint or, ruin it in any way. And then I do use a spray seal to seal it before I move on to the next step. This is Prairie Sunset, which is an all-in-one mineral paint Fry Fusion, and I am going to use this just in the strip across the top. I was going to use just the top, and then I decided to do the strip across the top and the strip across the bottom. Another thing you will notice is that I ended up removing the handle that was on this basket. It was starting to come apart, and I tried to kind of press it in back together and clamp it. It didn't really stay. So I decided to use this project in a different way. Instead of having it be like a wall pocket, which it still can be, I didn't fill in the holes, but I decided to leave it as a kind of vase or something that could be more of a shelf sitter. For my last project today, I just have this breadboard. It is a bamboo breadboard, and I am going to paint it with just one good coat of that birch paint, and we're going to try the reverse transfer on this project. Once I have that painted, I'm going to let it dry, and then we'll come back and start our reverse transfer. Here is a design that I created for you. It is free on my website at this time. It is a JPEG download, and I apologize if anybody tried to download it early yesterday morning and wasn't able to. There was a glitch with the file, so I have fixed it, and it is now available, and you can download it for free. I printed this on my color laser printer, and now I'm going to be using my DecoArt Decoupage matte glue, and I am going to be putting that glue right onto the printed image. After I have it completely coated, evenly distributed, I'm going to place that image face down right onto my project and then set it aside to dry very well before we come back onto the next step. Because I wasn't sure how this paint was going to kind of pull in or soak in that ink, I did come back with this tool and I just kind of pressed it into the paint a little bit more than I might have with some of my other chalk paints I know work really well. And this really did help. I also allowed it to sit for 24 hours, again, because I wasn't sure what to expect. All right, we are back the next day, and now I'm taking my damp cloth and starting to rub away some of that paper that is on the top to reveal the image. Once I see that paper starting to come off, I come in with my fingers. They have been dampened very, very lightly. Like, one thing I suggest is to use a mister bottle or something, because sometimes if you have like a bowl of water and you're dipping your rag or your fingers into it, sometimes you might end up with too much water, which could distort your image and pull back that ink that you do not want to come off of your project. That has worked very well for me and is something I suggest. I also just am patient with it. I kind of really lightly start the process. I don't go in a little further to like end up getting all of that excess off until I know that most of it is revealed and I know that it has fully adhered. You can see that this created a beautiful transfer onto this image. It came out perfectly. I had barely any distressing, which, is a good and a bad thing, I guess, because sometimes that distressing looks really cool. But I really wanted to just showcase how this method works so well and works with this new Alchemy paint. Once I have everything rubbed back, I do let it dry and just make sure it's completely dry before I seal it. You can seal your project with reverse transfer using a polyacrylic sealer. I actually did this one with a clear wax and it worked out very well too. I then just used some twine to embellish the top, and here's a look at the final project. I want to thank Emily from J. Bowen and Company for getting me these beautiful paints. Please check out our website. There is a link below. And I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Let me know which one was your favorite. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you soon.